And you said that you don't think that we should take people's guns away, but you think that people that support gun ownership are morons. But then you went back on that and you said, "Oh no, I don't really." But the point is that you just think that you have the right to tell me the reason why I should be able to have a gun. Okay. Now we're getting on to the World Trade Center in Oklahoma City. I'll concede the fact about Timothy McVeigh if he did actually do that, and then it was for revolution. I concede that. You're right. You're right. And the World Trade Center, I guess in the Muslims' way, maybe they thought they were going to change something. However, your little bombs that you could say that you can make, that's the reason why I brought that up. It's because you said you were an engineer. You said that you could go outside and you could put something together that would...
Yeah, back to notes again. Unfortunately, I let you go on too long there. So yeah, okay, you can see I'm right on some of these points, and then you say, again, you paraphrase me and say what I support and don't support. As I stated, people want to own guns, that's their own fucking business. I'm just pointing out the simple fact that anybody who thinks a gun is a solution to any social problem is an asshole. Okay, you're not gonna correct the government with a gun. You're not gonna fix a problem with a gun. And as soon as you open that door, as soon as you open the very idea of violence as a solution in the 21st century, you have closed the door on human life. All right, it just isn't going to work. It can't go anywhere. My whole point of the bomb demonstration, or pointing out that I could bomb your gun into non-existence, is just pointing out the fact. The fact is that it only escalates. All right, and your guns, just as it is in other countries, guns aren't what's creating chaos over there. Bombs are creating the chaos. All right. And it's going to get worse. They can't pump oil, they can't do this, they can't do that. Yes, because everybody's sabotaging everything, and you just end up, everybody's back in the Stone Age. $500 billion, and they're still living in the Stone Age. And that's all we're going to have.
World Trade Center, they tried to pass a terrorism bill. World Trade Center, they did pass the terrorism bill known as the Patriot Act. Yeah, Explosives really did a good job on that one. And also, I tried to explain to you that I was with you on the peaceful, democratic way, at least in our country. I don't think our democracy's that broken. I think that it can still be reformed and fixed without any type of armed revolution or bloody revolution. However, I think that it should still, if that fails, what else are you going to do? Just sit in a corner and cry and hope the government doesn't kill you?
So again, you missed the obvious. You use the words, I don't think. And that's exactly right. You don't think. All right? Just imagine for a minute, there's not 10 other gun owners like you. Okay? A few million. And they all have a different definition of when the government's right and wrong, and when it's out of control, and when it's time to do what they have to do to protect their rights. All right? And that's the door you open. That's the door, that's what you advocate. That everybody should have their own little goddamn opinion of when the government's become too insufferable and it's time to do some killing. And where are you going with that? There's nowhere to go with that. It leads to Timothy McVeigh. It leads to mayhem, destruction, death. That's all we're going to get out of this. All right? We have to become civilized. Civilized people don't wave guns. They don't advocate their use. They do everything they can to disengage any impulse to act out in any violent manner whatsoever, ever. Okay? Because that's the only way we're going to survive. That's it. That is the only road out of this maze. The only one. And you can pretend there's some other road, but it's an illusion. It's a delusion of yours. Okay? Because you don't think.
It's just so, to me, it's just, to me, that line of thought, to think that not having any way to protect yourself against the government if all else fails, is like when I talk to a theist and they talk about God. I can't even wrap my brain around that. I don't understand your logic. I mean, like I said before, it's a beautiful thought that I wish that wasn't the case. I wish we didn't have to worry about our government becoming a huge tyrant that would enslave us. But if allowed to, they will. There's no... The government doesn't care. People with power, they don't care how hard we cry or how hard we bitch.
You know, really, it's not about crying and bitching, asshole. No, it's about putting your gun away and opening up your fucking mind, okay, and applying it to the problem. We have problems, okay? Elections aren't right. Let's fix it. Okay, the democracy is archaic. Let's fix it. All right? It's not going to get fixed. You're not going to be able to hammer it with a gun or shoot it or do any of that other crap, okay? None of that fixes anything. It's all bullshit. It all leads nowhere. All right? And all the people in Europe who are living in these countries, Japan even, you know, there's not a gun in the goddamn country, for Christ's sakes. I don't think all the people are cowering in fear that all their rights are going to disappear tomorrow. You know? I mean, we have a democracy. I mean, later on you're going to bring up Thomas Jefferson's name. Well, I might as well talk about it now. I'll talk about it then. I'll talk about it now. You bring up his name. You did. You bring up his name. And you're speaking for him. Well, fuck you, okay? Because he'd be disgusted. I know he'd be disgusted. He'd be turning over in his fucking grave if he could listen to you defeatist assholes. He sat there and wrote you a goddamn constitution that you could work with. You could improve it all you fucking goddamn want. He put we the people in fucking charge, and we the fucking people can't do anything better than buy some fucking guns. Okay? And that's a disgrace. He gave you a fucking democracy, and you would just sit around and bitch and moan. You're the bitchers and the fucking moaners. Alright? What work have you applied to fixing one single goddamn fucking problem? You probably don't even goddamn vote. You know? So fuck you. Fuck you bringing up Thomas Jefferson's name. You fucking useless piece of shit.